The ride up to the cave was uneventful, to say, honestly, the most. To say it was uneventful would be understating how uneventful it was. Uncle Bill drove. I listened to the radio. Managed to tune in to guerrilla radio again. What's-her-face was talking again. Working on curing cancer. Yeah, you heard that right. The Shorvanti are working with doctors across the globe to, honestly, treat everything that's been anything. Cancer, old age, even tooth decay. It's curious, the other guy said. The aliens are a weird bunch. They do this, then we get things like everything going on in Maryland. Yeah, Maryland just can't catch a break. We're getting used... Oh my god. She went on to explain exactly what happened. Apparently there'd been a riot at Carroll County Airport, and the perps had responded by bombing the place to shit. Fucking aliens. I turned off the radio. Neither of us needed any of this. Fuck. I pinched the bridge of my nose. Bunch of savages, Uncle Bill added. Schizophrenic savages, I further added. Curing cancer in one place, blowing everything else up? Yeah, come on. We got a little hike ahead of us. Yeah. I followed Uncle Bill. It wasn't a long walk up the mountains. The cave was maybe 10 minutes up the way, and of course we didn't really see anything. Huh. I looked around some more. Think it was a bust? Soon as I said that, a bush stood up. An old guy in a ghillie pointed a rifle at us. Who the hell are you? I couldn't talk with a gun pointed at me, but Uncle Bill grabbed the gun and yanked it away. Burton? It's me, Bill. Holy shit, Billy. Billy fucking Judd? Burton let his guard down a bit. Haven't heard from you since... Mogadishu? Yeah. Oh, and it's Boone now. Daniel Boone. Boone? Yeah. The two old guys stared at each other. Then they hugged each other. Why did he look so familiar? It's been so long, buddy. I'd never seen Uncle Bill like this. Gillisuit Man looked over at me. Son, didn't think you were the type. Uncle Bill shook his head. Nephew. Well, son of a friend. Ah. Daniel Boone paused for a moment. Come with me, he said. That was that, I suppose. Uncle Bill and I followed the strange, gilded-up man further up the way through the woods and into the mountains. I don't know what I expected, but if someone said a bunch of weirdos in the cave, yeah, that'd be about right. As Boone leaned his gun up against the cave wall, I saw a few others poring over something on a table. Someone else was typing on an ancient-looking typewriter. Guess I gotta show you the whole operation now. Boone walked around. I might be able to fight the Shorvanti, but my students? Students? Was he? We came up with our own way to fight them. Boone passed Uncle Bill and I some papers. They had various cartoon characters drawn on. That was where I recognized Mr. Boone from. He taught art at the local high school. Mr. Boone? Guilty as charged, Boone shrugged. So like I was saying, things were weird when the perps first rolled into town. A few students and I holed up here in this cave and, well, propaganda. We've been making cartoons, distributing them, and, well, it's good to make people laugh in a time like this. That's nice. I was a little overwhelmed. You know him? Uncle Bill whispered to me. I nodded. Mr. Boone was my art teacher in high school. Ah. That's not all we've been doing, one of the kids writing on a whiteboard said. Ah, yes. Mr. Boone picked up a pen. You mind? Excellent, he said, as the kid shook his head. Mr. Boone erased the board and drew 4 bubbles. We've been intercepting Shorvanti comms chatter. From what we can tell, there are 4 main factions of Shorvanti at work here. We got the Marines, of course. Then the interior. He labelled 2 of the bubbles, Ma and In. But not every soldier out there is Marines, and this is where things get hairy. He labelled another bubble. The nobility. These are the ones in charge, roughly down to the state level. He drew another bubble off that and wrote Stamanatos on it. The head honcho, far as we can tell, in Maryland, is Baroness Gotia Stamantios. Right. I just smiled and nodded. And that brings us to our last faction. Stamantios' militia. Real nasty motherfuckers. They were the ones behind Grimswell Hospital and the airport. It seems our local invasion was more complicated than we thought. It wasn't just the aliens and the humans after all. Burton, Uncle Bill said. Boone, my bad. This setup is... This is incredible. You always were the artist. And the art teacher, I added. I think that goes with the artist, Uncle Bill said. By the way, do you have some sort of list of people who watch your stuff? I see you loading it onto flash drives there. Yeah, sure. Anything to help a friend out, right? Boone grabbed a piece of paper with names written on it. Uncle Bill took a picture of both sides real quick. A distant rumble shook the cave. Shit. Mr. Boone looked around. You hear that? We heard another rumble, and this time some dust fell from the ceiling. This is not good, Mr. Boone quickly muttered as he got on a laptop. Not good at all. You all? He pointed to the kids who had previously been poring over drawings and scripts. You know what to do. Go out the other way. Get somewhere safe. The kids ran for it as we all watched the cameras. Sure enough, the Shilvanti were there, but they weren't shelling us or anything. Instead, we saw 2 plumes of smoke. We set up cameras all over the place. Mr. Boone switched over to a different camera and set a drone on the floor. It took me a moment to figure it out, but I realized Boone was getting the drone feed on his laptop. He pressed a button on the remote control, and the little robot whirred to life, zooming out of the cave. On camera, we could see a third explosion as a third vehicle went up. A moment later, we heard the thump. Zoom in on that figure there, Uncle Bill pointed, and Mr. Boone zoomed in. Oh my god. It was Max, the crazy homeless guy. He had an enormous shotgun, a baseball bat, and a backpack full of what could have only been bombs. Max was having the time of his life. He hadn't seen any action beyond beating up the cops who came after him for the last 40 years, so this was just what he needed. The lizardmen could wait. The Shilvanti were far more important. He squeezed the trigger again, and the 4-gauge slug blew another purple alien over. Before the others could find him, Max slid underneath one of their anti-gravity vehicles. Just to be mean, he affixed a bomb. It was one of his shaped ones, built into a scavenged coffee pot. Don't be afraid, you evildoers, Max intoned, as he crawled out from beneath the ride. Old Max is going to show you how to fight like a human, isn't he? The perps obviously didn't want to fight like a human. They'd all run for cover and were leveling their rifles to shoot back at Max from behind their cover. Some were already opening fire. Unfortunately for them, his shaped charge went off just as they finished drawing the bead, drilling a serious hole through the engine. Now to deal with the purple ladies. Max lit a pipe bomb and threw it their way as he ran behind another of their transports. Too bad that put him right in the sniper's sights. He took one in the stomach and went down. Don't be afraid of the fire, Max gasped. Years of living on the streets had left Max a fragile thing, and he knew it. He wasn't surviving this. Only one option left. You sinners and evildoers. Max opened his coat and grabbed a cord. You think it'll burn you to ash, but fire will clean you up. He pulled the cord. Now, old Max always had a knack for chemistry, especially when he was in the CIA. Far from just a simple dynamite vest, there were twin glass canisters, each filled with a mix of white phosphorus, made from red phosphorus, scraped from match heads of course, and water. When the bomb exploded, it shattered the glass and vaporized the water. The white phosphorus ignited, filling the area with smoke and starting several fires. Well, I think we gotta get out of here, I mused as Max exploded. Then went the feed from the drone too. I picked up my rifle. This wasn't good. I had about 3.700 Nitro Express left, and a couple of handloads. I was going to have to think and sneak. You said there was another way out. Uncle Bill threw his backpack back on and looked around. Yeah, follow me. Boone dumped a jerry can out on his files and tossed in a match. They went up with a foom. And with that, we followed him deeper into the cave. We could hear booming Shilvanti voices behind us as we ran deeper and deeper into the darkness. Left here. At Mr. Boone's words, we all skidded to a stop and made a left before following the tunnel a little while longer. Soon, we could see light streaming in. It's tight, I know, but you'll make it. Trust me, go. One by one, we jumped up into the shaft, climbing up till we were disgorged from a cluster of rocks. We looked around at the woods around us. It seemed so peaceful, marred only by the multiple plumes of smoke in the distance. So what now? I was a little shaken. Boone sighed. I gotta find my, protégés. We're gonna start up again, got work to do. And with that, he took out his phone and dialed a number. Something drilled into the rock exploded, and his little back entrance collapsed, slamming shut. And you and I? Uncle Bill tapped on his phone and passed it to me. It was the list of names. We have a spiring to build.